Things are definitely heating up over here in the European season. With Leverkusen competing for the treble, Manchester City and Real Madrid's awesome UCL tie, and every competition about to wrap up, halfway across the world in Brazil, their season is just starting. And in Brazil, things work a little differently. With each team playing in their own respective state tournament, we are going to go over and recap what you probably missed in the most important state tournaments. Because there are some smaller states whose footballer teams aren't really that strong when compared to the big boy states. And these finals were all super exciting and intense. But before we start, let me give you a little background. These state titles aren't counted as major trophies, but they're still nice to win and give you bragging rights on being the better team, better than all the other teams in your state. So with that, let's get started. First, let's start off with the Paulista, probably the hardest one to win due to the fact that it has a lot of strong sides. Palmeiras and Santos were matched up in the final, and these two right now are in the complete opposite of each other. Santos is currently in a downfall, suffering its first ever relegation in history. They are now playing in the Serie B, and many people had expected them to not do that well in the state tournament because their squad is not that good. And on the complete opposite side of that, Palmeiras is the strongest side in Brazil right now, and some might say they are in a golden era. Winning back-to-back Brazilian league titles, they are surely one of the strongest teams in Brazil. Anyways, this matchup didn't go exactly how people thought it would, because Santos would put up an intense fight in the first leg, even winning it 1-0. And in the second leg, unfortunately, they couldn't keep that lead with 2 goals. The state title was stolen beneath their feet, and Palmeiras keep flexing on Brazil, showing everybody that they are the best. And now traveling down south of Brazil, in the most 2-team dominated championship known as the Campeonato Gaúcho, Internacional and Grêmio absolutely dominate the state title, with the two squads winning 88 state titles combined. If you take off all the other teams that have won the championship and combine them, it would only come out to 9. So anyways, Grêmio has been on a streak winning 6 titles in a row this season, but Internacional would be shocked in the semifinals, losing to Juventude on penalties while Grêmio got past their opponents easily. This Juventude side has just been impressive, earning promotion to the first division. And in the first leg, they would tie 0-0, but the second leg, the runners-up of the Brasileiro showed their quality and made quick work of the side, winning 3-1 and securing their 7th straight Gaucho title. And they are catching up to their bitter rivals Internacional, who have 45 titles. Grêmio is just 2 behind them, and it's clearly their era right now. And now heading over to Rio, where the Campeonato Carioca is played, this championship has a lot of upsets, where winners of the previous Libertadores Fluminense would lose to Flamengo in 2 legs 2-0, and their opponents in the final would be 4th tier side Nova. To be honest, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. So anyways, Flamengo they still won 4-0 over 2 legs, but hey, that's not that bad when you consider the budget and flan. Honestly, the Carioca is one of my personal favorites just because a lot of teams have the chance to win this one, as 4 separate clubs have won it more than 20 times, so it has a lot of big squads vying for it. But the last state final we will be looking at, in my opinion, is the best one, where we need to head over to Minas Gerais, where the Mineiro is played. And in the final, 2 teams with an intense rivalry were matched up against each other, Cruzeiro and Atlético Mineiro. Let me explain a little bit before we get into it. See, the 2 teams are also on a kind of opposite trend right now, as Atlético have won the Brasileiro title in the 2021 season, their first in 50 years, are in a golden era, winning 5 state titles in a row. However, their cross-city rivals Cruzeiro are going through a difficult time. Although they are one of Brazil's Big 12, they had suffered relegation, which saw them just come back into the league last season, where they barely qualified for the Sudamericana and fought relegation the whole season. Their tenure after being bought out by R9 has been hectic, but they were able to reach the state final, and they are desperate to win something. So the first match in Atlético Mineiro Stadium shows a strong first half by the home side. They go up 2-0 in 20 minutes. It seemed as though Cruzeiro were completely out of it from the jump, but an own goal in the 49th minute gave Cruzeiro hope. And in the 95th minute, they were able to get the goal to tie 2-2. This gave them all the advantage to play for. One match in their home stadium to get some much needed silverware. And things would start out perfect. With the first half ending scoreless, Cruzeiro would open the account in the 52nd minute. However, 10 minutes later, Mineiro would strike back. And 10 minutes after that, they would get a penalty, and Hulk, yes, that Hulk would convert it to go up 2-1. But the dagger came in the 93rd minute for the side. An injury time goal from Atletico Mineiro sealed the deal, and honestly, I just have to feel for Cruzeiro fans, as they have been receiving heartbreak after heartbreak as of late. But what match do you think was the most interesting? Was there even a crazier state final that I missed? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.